So this is Limor Schafman from RCR Wireless, and I'm here with Russell McHugh from Abalta Technologies. Russell, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Abalta.
So Abalta Technology is a company that's been around for about 10 years. We do a lot of work in the automotive space. We provide a lot of engineering services, and over the past 2.5 or so years we've been focusing on implementation of applications on IVI systems. So we've learned a lot about where the smartphone essentially meets the car.
Okay.
We work with a lot of major auto companies here in the US and some international ones as well. And from that work, we've come up with a technology, or a connectivity technology called WEBLINK.
All right, what's that about?
So WEBLINK is about, in our mind, it's about recreating the user experience that you have on your smartphone in the car.
So I can take any smartphone that I have and attach it and get the...
You can take any smartphone. So WEBLINK uses the browser on the smartphone, and it can run on any smartphone operating system. So be it Apple, iPhone, any Android phone, Windows Mobile or BlackBerry, any smartphone. We actually use the browser on the smartphone to render an application, and then we take the output from that and we throw it onto the head unit of the screen, as we see here. So in this particular implementation, what we're doing is we're taking a native application, the 3D native application from TCS, and we're rendering that using the browser on the iPhone 5. So that's actually been thrown out into what we call an off-screen buffer. We're rendering that, if you like, in a sort of a visual or a virtual buffer here in the same dimensions of the actual head unit screen. And then we're using in this case we're using USB to actually throw the output from that onto the head unit screen.
So what makes it unique? Why is this such an important element?
Well, the challenge, if you like, is the fragmentation that we have in the market right now. So we still have very many different operating systems, smartphone operating systems. The ability to come up with a solution that works across all of those is obviously very, very important. Future-proofing is another key area and a key thing that we've thought about in terms of designing our solution.
Because cars are kept on hand for quite a while, quite a few years. The technology is always evolving. So
that's right. So car makers are struggling with implementing applications and browsers on the head unit systems. They have to design cars. The design time frame, if you like, in the lead up to actually launching a car is typically 3. Those time frames are obviously getting shorter, but they're typically about 3 years long. So with this system, with WEBLINK, using the if you like, the power, the computing power of the smartphone, this is probably the best way to actually stay constant with technology. The smartphone providers, the makers, they're setting the standards in terms of browser capabilities. If we're using that technology every time the driver gets in or the young person gets into the car, we're going to maintain the look and feel of that experience for that application.
Right, there's control. Sure. And there's also the ability to brand it for the automotive, to keep in touch with the consumer, because they're always hearing from the consumer what they're interested in, what kind of applications they want to have.
Right, so just going back to the technology for a second, what WEBLINK is essentially is a container application on the smartphone, and that contains a set of apps. The car maker can choose, obviously they can choose what services or applications they want to make available, how they want to present them to the driver. They can present them based on the model of the car, based on the demographic that they want to, if you like, focus that car for. There's lots of ability, if you like, to change the look and feel of that, to add new services to it. But at the same time, the car maker has got, they've got their conditions to meet in terms of driver safety. So WEBLINK is going to enable and facilitate all of that.
Right. And I would also think that because the applications can be done for a mobile phone as a mobile app, it's actually easier to develop, and you can have a larger developer pool perhaps developing for this, and then the automotive company can decide these are the ones that we actually want.
Exactly, precisely. And that's one of the things that I wanted to sort of to talk to you a little bit about. Some of the competing technologies struggle with bringing the developers into the car ecosystem. That's been a real struggle, in fact, in the industry for a while. So with our solution, with WEBLINK, what we're proposing here is that if you can actually build an application that runs on your smartphone, and lots of developers are able to do that, give us a HTML5 version of that, and it'll automatically run in the car system. Our only requirement is in terms of a style sheeting or a modification to the output, if you like, of that application. We want an auto look and feel, and that's what you're showing here. So in the case of TCS here, it was a very simple style change for them to give us that auto look and feel. Despite the fact that that app is running on the smartphone, the outlook and the output from that is very much an auto style.
And one of the things I like that you showed is the fact that you can make use of this mobile device right here to also then interact with this head-mounted device.
Right, and that's, in this particular instance here, just again to remind you, we have a native application for this 3D nav, and what we're able to do here is we can pinch and zoom, and we can play with.
Okay, see how that interactivity happens.
Right.
That's great.
So we could potentially, use in this case, use the iPhone 5 for as a remote control for the actual head unit. So there are potential applications around that as well.
Right. So there are ways of taking advantage of a mobile device and the different things that it's capable of doing, making it part of the application, and as a result, it would automatically reflect on this device.
Again, we can add to the overall user experience that the particularly the young driver wants to have. They want to have sort of their iPhone 5, if you like, user experience on the head unit, and we can take full advantage of that.
Fantastic. So what do you see happening in the future for you? What are some of the next steps?
Well, we're talking to all of the major car companies right now, and they're encouraging us to talk to their tier 1 suppliers, so we see many opportunities there. The other thing is that this is not limited to any single market. We can support multiple languages on this, so internationally there's going to be lots of opportunities for us as well.
Fantastic. And if developers want to be in touch with you, how should they pursue that?
sales@abaltatech.com.
Okay, that's great. And if someone wants to actually take a look at this technology and get in touch with you for that as well, also
so again, on our website, abaltatech.com, we actually have quite a bit of information on that, and we have a video that explains in some detail what an extended version of this looks like.
Wonderful. Russell, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.